I have had the most spiritual awakenings, the most downloads, the most self-awareness during eclipse seasons. And it's something that I don't feel like we truly access sometimes. We kind of see eclipse season as something that happens to us rather than something that we actually can work with, but not in a planetary kind of way, but more of in a intuition inward way. We can really work with eclipse season when we are really self-aware and self attuned. We can really work with what's coming up. And that can bring us so much more self-awareness and so much more awakenings for ourselves and for our growth, not just spiritually, but also in the life that we are living. And for me, the past 4 eclipse seasons have been truly eye-opening. I have learned so much about myself, my patterns, what I do, what I don't do, how I make decisions, like how I react as a person. And understanding that through the lens of the eclipses is understanding where those eclipses are within your charts and working with that. And honestly, like, I really do feel like eclipses brought me so much self-awareness, and I really want to open that up for everyone. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Katerina. I am a shadow guide who works with astrology as a tool to bring us that like full-bodied self-awareness so we can stop reacting and start being present and make grounded decisions that align with our highest good and evolve within that. So if that interests you, then feel free to subscribe if it is something that calls to you. And I want to get straight into it. I wanted to honour this eclipse season for all of us and get us working with it. So I am bringing out something that is called the Eclipse Circle. It's an intimate space for women only. There will be 6 slots maximum for this circle. We will have deep dives into shadow work. We will have specific for like where the eclipses are within your chart. I'll also be looking at Virgo within that, as well as Aquarius within that. There's no lunar eclipse or solar eclipse in Aquarius or Virgo, but they are definitely part of the story. We'll be having live sessions in the month of August, going through the shadow work that I provide you beforehand. It's really going to be like, I'm so excited for it. It's really going to be like an intimate, vulnerable space. So if you're willing to be vulnerable and if you're willing to be open and share with an intimate group, that's why I've left it as 6 people max, 6 women max. I'm not going to say why I'm doing women only. And this is going to be that space for us to really open up and be vulnerable and really look at what Leo and Aquarius and Virgo and Pisces are asking of us, what this eclipse season is asking for of us, and how we can really work with it, how we can really evolve and grow and let go, and how we can actually like bounce off each other and like create a community within this. So everything is linked below for that. Like I said, 6 spots only available for that maximum, and the last day that you can access that is the 6th of August. So our first live session starts on the 8th of August. So just if you are thinking about it, please make sure that you do it before the 6th of August. I'll probably say the cutoff time will be like afternoonish my time, but everything will be linked below for that. But yeah, if you join after the 6th of August, unfortunately, you won't be able to join the circle. So if it's something that's calling out for you, and if you really want to work with this eclipse and know what it's bringing up for you in what house. And I'm providing houses versus risings. So for instance, if you use Placidus, you can use Placidus and whole sign. Look at where the eclipse is calling to you inwardly but also outwardly. And we'll go through all of that in the live sessions. There'll be 4 live sessions that we'll be going through. So yeah, I'm so excited for this. I just really feel like I have had the most growth during eclipse seasons, and I want to bring that space to you guys and say like exactly how I work with it. You'll also get early access to the subliminals that I've created. I've created nodal shift subliminals specific for like your house. That is house based. So with the North Node in Aquarius and South Node in Leo, those will be coming out sometime later in the year, so you will get early access to those. I will say that I used subliminals for Virgo and Pisces eclipse. Basically releasing like control and surrendering, and I use subliminals for that. I created them myself and I used them like all of last year. So it's something personal that I use during the nodal shifts, and to kind of help with any subconscious programming that I'm unaware of when it comes to like where Virgo was in my chart and where Pisces was in my chart. So I wanted to create those for this nodal shift that we're having. It's also my nodal return, so I feel like it's going to be something that needs that extra guidance and support. So yeah, if you want to work with a small group of women on this eclipse season and you want to catch base, like I'll have a Telegram out available and we can just really cultivate that community during the eclipse season. So if it's something that is calling to you, everything is linked below for that, and I will see you in the Eclipse Circle. So if you can't join the Eclipse Circle, let's get into helping you be aware of what the eclipse is asking of you. And first and foremost, you need to have some level of self-awareness. And what that means is like when something triggers you, you need to understand that you are reacting from a place of being triggered. You are not reacting from your like true core belief. You are reacting from something that has been pushed upon you in society or in your lineage. So that's what self-awareness is. Having a level of self-awareness in order to know when you are being reactive instead of being present and grounded in your response. So what I would say is anytime anything triggers you during eclipse season, write it down. Do this anytime, but during the eclipse season, write it down. If you do know how to read your birth chart and you do know where the eclipses are within your chart, basically, if you do whole sign, it's a lot easier for you. Where Leo is in your chart for the solar eclipse and where Pisces is in for the lunar eclipse. This is the last Virgo and Pisces axis of the eclipse. The nodes have shifted already, so it definitely is releasing anything. And I would say that last eclipse, like earlier this year, February time, the lunar eclipse in Virgo felt more like a lunar eclipse in Pisces, and this one will feel a lot like a lunar eclipse in Virgo. So they definitely are, you know, they're polar, they're opposite each other. They are part of that story, so it's not like just Pisces. That's why I was saying, like, in the Eclipse Circle I work with both Leo and Aquarius and Pisces and Virgo. But just understanding where those are in your chart will help you to understand what to look out for more and what is coming up for you. You could go deeper into this. You could say Jupiter rules Pisces, so where is Jupiter in your chart? Is there something connected to that? But then also, what houses does Jupiter rule? Obviously, where it is in Pisces and then Sagittarius, so you can go much deeper into that if you know like more about how to read your chart. But I would say understanding. So for instance, if you have Pisces in the 12th house, that will be more internal things that are going on. That will be more subconscious beliefs, reprogramming your subconscious mind. That will be stuff to do with rest, because the polar is Virgo in your 6th house. If you had Pisces in the 7th house, that is relationships. It is relationships in your identity. Do you control things a lot when it comes to you letting go and like receiving help, receiving care, receiving rest? Or are you always the person who helps everyone else? Those are the kind of themes that would come up when you look at where the eclipse is within your chart. So having some level of self-awareness first, like understanding when things trigger you and understanding like what's coming up, right? And then also understanding what area of life this eclipse is calling to you, which not everyone has access to. Not everyone has their birth time. You know, for many different reasons. I would say, like in the UK, we don't, unless your parents remember your birth time, there's no access to it. That it's not written on birth certificates. I know in the US it is. So that's like one part of it, you know, like it's not as simple as just understanding through your house. You can go to someone to rectify and like figure out what time or like what rising sign you would be, but still you can work with it. You can work with it by understanding in your life what is coming up the most. Like, this is where I would 100% get you to get a journal. I actually would like you to bring a journal to the Eclipse Circle. But really get a journal and just write about what's coming out every day if you can. It really helps you to understand, because then you can kind of, I'm by the beach at the moment, by the sea, so you can hear the seagulls. So I would say, like, you know, you really need to have that level of self-awareness, and journaling does help you have that, because when something like intense happened one day, you can go back and say, well, that was about my siblings, or that was about my money, or that was about my friendships, and then you could maybe kind of play about with it if you didn't have your birth time, and you could say, okay, well, whenever anything is in Aquarius, it always seems to be about my siblings. Okay, that might mean that I have Aquarius in the 3rd house. Obviously, it's not exact, but you have autonomy, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, you can't do anything about it. Like, work with it and figure out what comes up for you during these times. But on a basic level, even if you don't know the area of life that Aquarius or Leo or Virgo or Pisces is, just on a basic level of understanding what's coming up for you and what is triggering you, and where you need to release control, where you need to surrender, but also where you have been acting from a place of ego, or where you were afraid to be seen, so you stay in the crowd. There are so many things that are happening at the moment, and I feel like personally the way we move through this is being self-aware, because otherwise we can get kind of lost in the source of it, and we cannot work with it as intentionally as we have ability to. This is why I'm like I've said, I started my YouTube channel last year, and I think this is my 3rd eclipse season since I have started my YouTube channel, and I'm very passionate about eclipse seasons because I just feel like they are a time for us to listen. to stop, to breathe, and to listen. And if we are not listening, we're not learning. And therefore, if we're not learning, we're not evolving. And I don't know about you, but my goal is to never react from a place of trauma, because I've hurt people from reacting from a place of trauma. I have been hurt by reacting from a place of trauma, by choosing from a place of trauma. And it's something that I was really tired of. I was really tired of doing that. And we have the power. We have the power to be able to do this and to have the autonomy and have the awareness. We just need to choose. Do we want to stop, or do we want to continue in this life, in this chaos, in this cycle, in the loop that we are stuck in? Do we want to move through it? So there are a few things I want to say about this eclipse season. We've just had the Aquarius full moon. Yeah. And that brought out some stuff for us, right? It released some stuff. Maybe it made us more aware of some stuff, maybe. But if you have Taurus and Scorpio stuff going on in your chart, you had a square within that energy. If you had Aquarius and Leo and Scorpio and Taurus, then you had grand fixed grand cross going on. You either had conjunctions or squares going on, right? So you definitely felt it. Depending on the chart, it might have been internal, but you definitely felt that shit, right? And the Eclipse Circle is definitely something that I would promote to you, because we can really work through that in that space. But I would say, if you have Taurus stuff, if you have Scorpio stuff, if you have Aquarius or Leo stuff, I would say really, really journal this month and just see what comes up for you, because there is definitely something in this time that is asking something of you. And if you're not aware of it, and you can't remember, or you don't have notes, or you don't have photos or anything that could bring you back to those dates, I would really recommend that. But also, if you have mutable, the Pisces is ending its cycle with Virgo, and they're releasing anything else. It is the end of that cycle now. So if you have Pisces stuff, Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo stuff, especially obviously if you have Pisces or Virgo stuff, I would really recommend you to sit with that and just see, what am I not letting go of? What am I really not letting go of? And I'm not surrendering into the unknown, surrendering into the path that is meant for me. There is something, and I spoke about this last week, that there's something that we're not letting go of, and we're being so asked to pivot. And this Pisces lunar eclipse is kind of the last moment of that, the culmination point of the Virgo and Pisces nodes journey, an eclipse journey. We are really being asked to just. So I would recommend that if you have any of that, first of all, join the Eclipse Circle, but also journal every day if you can, and just put the date on it, so you know what date to look back at. And I would also say, I'll say this in if you join the Eclipse Circle, there's Telegram, and I'll write in there and tell you what to look out for, but I will give you dates to look back at. So if you have photos or anything from the past year, definitely try and get access to that before we start the live session on the 8th, but I'll put that all in the Telegram anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to give some bit of information about the eclipse because it's something that we're going through, we're entering. It's kind of now, but officially the first eclipse is on the 14th, also no, the 12th of August. So we'll feel it now, yes, but working with that energy during it is really important. I would say, like, genuinely, again, I've said it 3 times already, but it is the time that I've been the most self-aware and the most growth has come for me, especially this time last year. That was like just mind blown. And Virgo Pisces is my third, ninth house and third house. So it is all to do with my mind and my learning, my spirituality, and the way I communicate. So that was definitely inward beliefs that were coming out, and they have really changed my life because I'm so aware of that now that I don't actually repeat those cycles a lot. Is something that really just was like a light bulb moment. And it's funny because a lot of people are saying, like, give me the tools, do this, do that, on like so many people's videos. And I used to be one of those people, but until you have that light bulb moment, sometimes you can't see it. Even if someone is saying it to you, like, point blank, so easily, it's like not accessing your brain in some way. You need that light bulb moment sometimes to really be like, oh wow. And that light bulb moment will come when it's meant to come. I spent so long searching for answers, searching for purpose, doing all that, and then as soon as I just kind of relaxed into whatever was happening for me, the light bulb moments just started to come. Anyway, I will go now. I'm going to go down to the beach. So just a reminder, because I feel like this is the only video that's coming out, I'll put reminders on my YouTube community post, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. So the Eclipse Circle is an intimate space for women only, 6 spots maximum. It will be 4 live sessions where we will work through I'll give you shadow work before that, tailored to where the eclipses are in your chart. And we have a Telegram for us to be able to communicate and talk to each other and just reflect and revise on anything, and if there's any questions, to have access to that. You also get the early access to the subliminals for then Aquarius North Node, Leo South Node, wherever it is in your chart. I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited to bring those out, and I've got something else coming out with that too. And last call is on the 6th of August. So you have got, it's the 31st today, I think, when this video comes out. If it's something that's been calling you and you really want to evolve and grow and work with this eclipse season, you don't know what this eclipse season is teaching you, but you want to learn, you want to know, this space is for you. This space is for you to work through that with other like-minded women, and a really safe, intimate space for that. So yeah, last call 6th of August. When you apply, when you go and join, it will ask you for your rising sign and where your location is. That is because I want to make sure that I tailor the live sessions to where everyone is, and making sure that everyone has access to them. And they will be recorded if you can't make a date. And you have lifetime access to those recordings. I would say that next year we're also going through 2 eclipses with Leo and Aquarius. So what happens now will be brought up next year. So it's really important, if we want to be self-aware and work through this, like work with this energy, to know what it's being asked of us now, so we can work with it and we can start now, rather than like getting into the height of next year and there's like chaos happening because we're not listening. Chaos happens in our life because we're not listening. And it's not like listening to like someone else, it's like listening to ourselves and what's being called to us and being asked of us. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you want to join the Eclipse Circle, then everything is linked below. And if you join, then we start next week. I'm so excited. And I will see you next week anyway for another video. So yeah.